GreenLaw was founded in 1992 by attorneys, law professors, and judges committed to providing community groups in Georgia with the legal and technical tools needed to protect their environment and public health. We have a solid history of success. Our water quality program has forced industry to install critical pollution controls at facilities across the state. GreenLaw's air program has stopped 2 new coal-fired plants from being built and reduced emissions at existing plants. Our environmental justice program has a solid track record of helping low-income community groups to tackle pollution in their backyards. GreenLaw is dedicated to preventing pollution, air, water, and land, that degrades Georgia's natural resources and endangers human health. We do this by providing high-quality, legal and technical assistance at no cost to environmental organizations and community groups throughout Georgia. We rely on funding from foundations and individuals to sustain our organization. Your financial support can enable us to continue our mission. GreenLaw is a nonprofit law firm with one client, Georgia's environment. GreenLaw's top priorities are to provide high-quality legal representation to protect Georgia's natural resources, advocate for meaningful public policy change, and raise GreenLaw's profile in the legal, environmental, and nonprofit communities. GreenLaw is Georgia-grown and Georgia-based. We nurture a love of Georgia's special places and fight every day to protect them, from working on sludge issues in Dawsonville to fighting a fish kill in Screven County. Our strengths lie in our meaningful relationships with local leaders and in having such a deep-rooted understanding of Georgia, and that's reflected in the passion we have for our cases. GreenLaw is effective because we have really super lawyers dedicated to using the power of the law to clean up our air, water, and land, especially in low-income communities. GreenLaw has the clout and the relationships to work with Georgia businesses and government to create the best environmental outcomes for our state. We engage in public policy at the state and local level to make sure sound laws are in place to protect Georgia's environment. For example, we work to ensure that proposed revisions to the Coastal Marshland Protection Act wouldn't result in development encroaching on Georgia's shorelines. We also work closely with the Atlanta City Council to pass a tough tire cleanup law. These are just 2 examples of how we get results for Georgia. We have a strong commitment to our strategic plan at GreenLaw. It's not a document we draft and stick in a drawer to gather dust, but a constant reference point for where we are in achieving our overall mission. Our strategic plan outlines specific goals, due dates, and accountability measures. For example, we chart the success of all our cases in court and before state regulatory agencies. We also quantify reduced levels of pollutants in our air and rivers by monitoring air and water quality reports. In addition, we hold quarterly staff and board meetings where we review our strategic plan to make sure we're on track. An organization must be able to measure its progress to be effective. At GreenLaw, we strive every day to make sure we're meeting our strategic goals to protect Georgia's environment, one case at a time. Too often, the public doesn't connect the dots between environmental degradation and our health. That's why at GreenLaw, we help low-income communities address pollution in their backyards. Protecting the environment is at its core a human issue. If our air is full of smog, our children suffer from greater asthma rates. If our water is polluted, we don't have safe drinking water. And the list goes on. This human element is what makes our environmental justice program so critical. In fact, GreenLaw is the only environmental nonprofit in Georgia that has an environmental justice attorney. No other organization offers free legal representation on these critical environmental justice issues. GreenLaw's first major win in court was in 1997 with Sierra Club versus EPA. This implemented pollution standards called total maximum daily loads for all of Georgia's waterways. In 2003, we sued Georgia Power in response to a massive fish kill caused by heated discharge dumped into Lake Sinclair. This resulted in the installation of a $50 million cooling tower to prevent similar disasters. We're also proud to be part of a coalition that successfully added over 500 megawatts of solar energy to Georgia's energy portfolio. More recently, we've successfully fought 2 proposed coal-fired plants and have pushed Georgia Power to purchase wind power for our state for the first time in Georgia history. As with many nonprofits, we at GreenLaw have to resist the temptation of mission creep. That is, engaging in activities that are not central to our mission. We are a public interest law firm with one client, the environment. We need to stick to what we do best to get the best results for our state. GreenLaw has 4 program areas: water, air, land use, and environmental justice, each headed up by a full-time staff attorney. What we really need to complement our legal staff is a full-time environmental scientist who could provide testing data and expert testimony for our cases. This in-house environmental engineer is our top priority, with additional funding. GreenLaw unfortunately turns down cases due to lack of funding or resources. We have a strong team of 4 full-time attorneys, but we can't take every case that comes through our door. We focus on where we can have the most impact, while at the same time ensuring that we give a voice to grassroots communities in need of representation. We'd love to have a wildlife protection program headed up by an attorney experienced in endangered species cases. And that will happen if we continue to build our organization.